Obi-Wan Kenobi. So, Obi-Wan Kenobi takes place 10 years later after the events of Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. First episode, we get a quick recap of the prequel trilogy so that we can catch up on what Obi-Wan has been through up until that point. As we all know, Obi-Wan is on Tatooine, in hiding from the Empire. He remains there to watch over a young Luke Skywalker. He works at a meat processing plant and then goes home to a cave and calls it a day. On his spare time, he watches over Luke. That's pretty much his daily routine. He does not do any Jedi training whatsoever, and he is out of touch with his Jedi way, and that's because he sees the Jedi are no more. There's a moment where Obi-Wan is asking for help from someone and he doesn't seem to be able to get in touch with the person he's asking help from because he has neglected the Jedi way, and I kind of like that little moment because of that. We meet the Inquisitors who are hunting the Jedi. One of them is named Reva. Now, if you look at all 4 Inquisitors, she is the only one of them that is human and doesn't have any alien-like features. She doesn't look scary like the rest of them, and she looks pretty, but the show attempts to make her scary with her actions. She has a personal mission to find and kill Obi-Wan. She seems to have something personal here that I believe we will see revealed to us later on. There seems to be a lot of attention on her that makes me think she is going to become a good guy or maybe a darker villain. The other Inquisitors don't do that much here, and they already look threatening. They don't need to do anything because their presence says it all, whereas for Reva, once again, she looks pretty and attractive, and to me, the show is trying to prove me that she is the scary one out of the bunch. Is this a way to trick me or what? While on Alderaan, we are introduced to a young Leia Organa who likes to run off on her own into the woods instead of tending to her princess duties. She ends up being kidnapped by a bounty hunter. I like the way the young actress played young Leia. She definitely captures the spirit of the character. She behaves just the way you would think a young Princess Leia to behave as. A lot of you might hate me for this, but I didn't quite like the scenes with Leia running away. They felt a bit loony or Disney-like, and I can understand the limitations of working with a child, but I just couldn't get behind those scenes. Anyway, Leia's adoptive parents, Bell and Brea, send a message to Obi-Wan to save their daughter Leia. Obi refuses, and Bell comes to Tatooine to convince him otherwise. Obi-Wan reconsiders. The story is pretty much straightforward here. Obi-Wan has to find Leia, but doesn't like the thought of leaving Luke on Tatooine. By him going after Leia, he is putting himself at risk of being caught. Ewan McGregor slips into the character at ease here. He knows and understands the character well. Second episode, Obi-Wan heads to the planet Daiyu, where he tries to find a lead on where Leia is. He eventually does find her, of course, and tries to escape the planet unnoticed. The dynamic between Obi and young Leia is pleasing here. It reminded me of Obi-Wan and Anakin. Here, Reva is continuing on her hunt and finding Obi-Wan. There's a moment where Obi-Wan does have to use his force powers for the first time for who knows how long within those 10 years. In this moment, I thought it could have been better or built up better, but it still gets the message across. I like that the show doesn't show Obi-Wan using his lightsaber as I imagine he'll use it later when the time's right, which will hit home better. But because of that, I like that there aren't any lightsaber battles, even though I actually want one. I would prefer if they tease us like they do with Clint Eastwood and his westerns, or even Django Unchained and Mandalorian, where these characters reach for their weapon but don't use it. I would have liked for the show to tease us in that way to build it up, and to what I said before, hit us with it when it really matters. The highlights for me in episode 2 was definitely when Obi-Wan discovered that after 10 years, Lord Vader is still alive. Just the look on his face said it all. And finally, when we see Darth Vader at the end. So far, this is a good start to the show. It flows nicely from the prequel Revenge of the Sith, and I'm looking forward to where it goes. I'm just saying.